Oh my gosh. Hello, my cute and creepy friends. Hi, sorry I've been gone for so long. I won't bore you with the details. I have been getting larger, as you probably can see, and I've just been prepping, doing a lot of nesting. We are back. Well, I'm not really quite sure where we are because I haven't decided on the background yet, but we are definitely in Nosferatu territory. We are in Count Orlok's backyard or somewhere near that, and it's frickin' freezing. It's -20. It's actually really cold out today in real life. It's like, I think it was like 9 degrees this morning, so don't have to pretend too much. But I thought I would sit down, do some drawing with you today and just discuss the movie Nosferatu. I know I am like 50 years late, especially in like internet time. The movie came out a while ago, but I will say I didn't see it when it came out. I did not see it on Christmas Day. It's still in the same month that I saw it, so cut me a break. I just wanted to discuss this movie while I did some drawing with you guys and just sat down, sketched some fun things, and then I'm going to post this fun sticker sheet to Patreon for all my patrons. And yeah, it's just gonna be a fun, chill, chit-chat time. I'm actually like, I have like huge anxiety when people are watching me draw. I would love to do a live with everyone, like while I'm drawing, but I am so terrified. I'm so scared. This is a little bit less scary, but live, I'd have to like overcome some fears because I'm a sloppy artist. I'm not very like, I don't know all the hotkeys. I rarely name my layers, which I know is like a cardinal sin. So I feel like I would get a lot of judgment, but I really need to just face the judgment because maybe I need to get my together. But anyway, Nosferatu. So a brief thought about what I'm drawing today. So I absolutely knew I wanted to draw something for this movie because it was so visually stunning. I think regardless if you loved the movie or not, which I'll get into, we can all agree it was visually gorgeous. So I pulled a couple of, I'll show you right now, I pulled a couple of images on Pinterest that really inspired me of like the layout of what I wanted to do. And funny enough, one of the examples is from The Witch, so perfect. We are going to play around with some iconography, images from this film, and have it on a fun flash, and have it in a flash sheet. Why can't I say that? And display it in a flash sheet style.
Great job.
So the images that I really wanted to go for are rats, Ellen and the doctor. I'm so sorry, I forget his name. It starts with the A. The sarcophagus, the coffin, if you will, and a hand, a shadow going over like a window with some bricks, just to try to make a nod at shadow play and how important that is in this film. A little square of Orlok and his creepy eyes, and then a scene of the graveyard because I really loved that, and that was a pretty important part actually of the film and from the original, is like that sand graveyard. So the first thing we're gonna do is put some squares down because I want this to be a nice organized layout and have kind of little sections for each part. Oh, This child, I swear. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, we picked a theater that we wouldn't need to worry about really with the crowd. We did not go to AMC. We went to a small little theater that a lot of like theater snobs, movie snobs I should say, go to. And it was nice. We didn't have to deal with like people laughing. I guess a lot of people dealt with issues of like people laughing and making comments during scenes that are like intimate and like, I don't know. I already have so much anxiety around going to the theater now, which really sucks because the theater is a place that I've always loved going to growing up my entire life. And now that I have anxiety around it because people have lost all like sense of etiquette. So I was nervous going in, but the theater we picked, I was very reassured that we were going to have a mature audience, and we did. We had a mature audience. Everything was fine. Starting off, the very beginning scene there with Ellen, and she's like at this house, and what happens to her there, the convulsing, and we see her reaction to Orlok, chills, absolute goosebumps. It really set the tone for the film. And I just thought that Lily was incredible as Ellen. I thought she did such a great job. I haven't really seen her in much of anything, and she's very new to the scene. And so like being a Nepo baby, it's like, whatever, but like she was great. She did such a great job. I really enjoyed her. In my humble opinion, she's the main character and she is definitely the hero. And I thought the movie did a great job showing that. So my favorite part of the film, man, I would have to say when Thomas is on his way to see Count Orlok and he's riding his horse and he gets to that part of the woods and it's just dead silence. It's just complete dead silence, and the woods are like getting darker and darker, and then you hear the carriage coming towards him, and holy crap. And the whole theater, like I said, it was great because the whole theater was quiet. No one said anything, and so you could really sit in that like impending doom and that silence. We move on from there shortly after to seeing Orlok and his castle and this big reveal. And let me just say, this movie did a great job of no spoilers. Like, I did not see one image of this guy online. I didn't see anything on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. And I was also like searching, like I not like looking for reveal, but I was looking for just reviews and like Googling Nosferatu. And I did not come across a single thing except from the trailer. So I saw like his eyes and stuff like that, but I did not see a single spoiler as to what this guy was gonna look like. And so I was very intrigued. I could not wait for that part. And the voice. Okay, we need to talk about the voice, and not just the voice, but of course, this infamous mustache that everyone was just up in arms about, apparently. So I love Bill Skarsgård so much. Like, he is just absolutely phenomenal. He is definitely becoming, also like Willem Dafoe, like the cast of this movie. I know I need to focus on Bill right now, but like I just want to mention really quick that the cast is just probably the best part of this whole film. But Bill is just incredible. He is just absolutely incredible. I foresee him being the next, what's that guy's name? He's in Pan's Labyrinth, and like, he's like every single well done creature. Anyway, I can't remember his name, but he's gonna be him. He's gonna be the next him. I was very taken aback by his voice. The deepness, the like throaty, guttural, like phlegmy, like all the adjectives. It was just perfect. It was so intimidating, and I just love that they leaned into how disgusting and grotesque this creature is. Like, I don't even want to call him a man because he's like not even a man anymore. But yeah, he's so disgusting, and I loved it. And what I could see from his appearance, I couldn't wait to see the mustache. I didn't mind the mustache. I think that it was a cool choice. I couldn't wait to see it because people were just like, oh man, like just rip that mustache off. And so I was like, like, am I gonna hate it? Am I gonna hate how Count Orlok looks? Like, is this gonna ruin? No, it did not. In my opinion, it's no more upsetting than Copula's Dracula with the frickin' hair butt. I liked it. I thought it was a cool choice. I thought it was a nod to Vlad, the like who Dracula is supposed to be based off of, Vlad the Impaler. I thought it was a nod to that. That's the vibe that I got, because he has this mustache. He's depicted with this big mustache. So I thought it was cool, and the way that the blood, like when he is drinking off of people, the way that the mustache gets like soaked in blood, it's ugh. And like, I know that is the point. That is definitely the whole point of this, is just how disgusting can we make this thing. So very much so appreciated that. So while Ellen is back with, oh my God, I just felt so freaking bad for her. I felt so bad for her and that family, like taking her in and dealing with all of that. Oh my God, I just, and we got our first glimpses of Willem coming in. He was phenomenal. I mean, when isn't he? When isn't Willem Dafoe phenomenal? He always is. I am also a big lover of The Lighthouse. I thought that film was incredible. It was just an experience. It was such an experience. My husband and I went and saw that when we lived in LA, and there was one other couple in there with us. They were young. They were like young teenage like kids, and I knew, I was like, they're gonna leave. I just had this feeling. I was like, they're gonna freaking leave, and sure enough, they did. It was like a half an hour in, and they bounced. They were probably like, what on earth is this? Which, totally understandable. It was a very bizarre film if you've seen it, but I loved it. Robert Pattinson. I've been so happy for him. Side note, and his career, just like the way it's taken a turn, like kind of like Matthew McConaughey, you know, like I'm really happy that they have like changed their career trajectory and taken more serious roles and shown us how amazing they are. Like, oh my word, True Detective. If you have not watched that show with Matthew McConaughey and what's his name? Woody Harrelson. I'm not good at names, guys. You know this about me. If you have not seen that show, that first season especially, stop this video. Well, no, finish my video. But you need to go watch it right now. I could go on and on about the acting and just how well I felt everyone did, and just really captured the vibe and the time period and all of that. And so I guess now I'm gonna like talk about my complaint, like just what I am angry about. And it's not about the movie. It's not about the movie. It's about people, just like the reception of this film. I saw a lot of good reviews at first, and then like most things, the bad started flooding in, and it started to like go from, you know, like 90% good to like 75, stuff like that. And so I started reading people's negative comments, and I just don't understand what people expect from movies. Now, like, there were so many conflicting thoughts. Some people were like, it was way, way, way too long. Like, I'm not kidding, I saw back-to-back reviews of people that were like, it was way too long, dragged on forever, blah, blah, blah. And then the next critique was, it was way too quick and fast, and it felt rushed.
Huh?
But the biggest complaint, you know, you always get people like that. That's not shocking. You always get people that are like saying things about it's boring. Anytime it's like a well done horror movie, which by the way, this wasn't even like, I mean, I think the genre says it's horror, but it's not like a jump scare horror movie. You know, there was very few times in the theater that I was actually like scared. Like it wasn't scary. It was very unsettling, very disturbing and ominous and stuff. But that's not, anyway. So we have people that are always going to say that those films, if they don't have jump scares or whatever, it's boring. Fine. But the comments that confused me the most were people that were saying stuff like that there was so much sex. What? So many people thought that this movie was too sexual. Way too many sex scenes. Am I allowed to say sex on YouTube? There were a lot of people that thought there were too many of those scenes. And I'm just like, there weren't. There was one. Yeah, there was one, if I'm correct, because the beginning scene, we see Ellen, and she is going through this convulsion on the ground. And it's, you know, she's clearly going through, she's having a dream. Nothing is happening. Like, it's a vision, it's a dream. It's not actually happening. And even in the dream, she's not unclothed, like, so that's not what's happening. Then in the middle of the movie, there is an actual scene with her and Thomas, and her husband. That does happen. That is a scene. But like, that's it. The last scene, there is a moment between Ellen and Orlok. There is nudity. She is laying down. He is on top of her. But like, there's no acts shown like there is in the second scene. I'm trying to not get demonetized. There's no movements happening of ones that you would expect in a scene such as that. Did I do good there? He is drinking from her. He is literally draining her of her life force. So that is what's happening. I mean, maybe that is going on whilst that he's drinking from her. Even if you're like, oh, you're full of crap, that was totally a intimate scene. Then that's just two. Then there's two. There's two scenes in that whole entire movie. That's not a lot. That's really not a lot. And there were just so many comments all over TikTok, all over social media that were like, oh my gosh, this movie was so sexual. She was always like moaning and writhing. And I'm just like, what? And it just makes me think that people that were not mature enough went to see this movie.
Youths.
They thought it was like a fun little horror, jump scare, teen horror movie. And they were like, 17 years old or whatever. And they went and saw it. And they were like, oh my God, sex is happening. I don't know. Really weird, really weird. There was so much more to this movie than that. And if that was your takeaway, that there were like way too many sex scenes, and to reduce Lily's performance to like, she was always writhing, and like one of the comments I saw was like,
we've seen this before in The Exorcist.
What? Okay, you've seen someone be possessed before, so we've been there, done that. So I guess you're not allowed to writhe anymore. I guess that's taken, guys. The other comments that I saw were that all the women died in this film. All the women were killed off, and it just depicted women horribly. Anti-feminist, I guess, is like, it's an anti-feminist film. Lily was super weak and not a good character, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. I could not disagree more. Like, I thought Lily, was one of the strongest characters. She was the hero, like I said. She literally took one for the team. Like, there is a part in the movie when Ellen and Willem are having a conversation, and he's like, only you can redeem us. Only you can save us. And she's very much so aware of that. And so, spoilers, but she sacrifices herself. She gives herself over to Orlok and distracts him enough that he dies in the flames of the sun. And she does that because she loves her husband and she wants to save everyone. So yeah, I don't take that as her being weak or anti-feminist, or I think that you are misunderstanding the film. I think that you are purposely misunderstanding this movie. And that leads me to my annoyance with like people that go in to these films already making up their mind that they're gonna hate it. So many people are just haters. Like, they want to hate a movie, and they hate the director, they hate the actors, like whatever it is, I don't know. But they hate the movie already before they see it. So they begrudgingly buy a ticket so that they can go and like bitch about it online. I'm not saying that there's no validity at all to people that don't like it. Like, of course, there are people that were just like, it disappointed me. This, and this was wrong with it. This could have been better. It was not like a perfect film, but I'm talking about the people that gave it like 1 star. People that in their reviews, like they said that they like walked out. Really? You walked out of Nosferatu? Like, you are so dramatic. Like, that is so ridiculous. That movie was not worth a refund where it was that, like, that's just insane to me. So those are mainly the people I'm talking about. And I don't know, I think that they just don't like Robert Eggers, maybe, or the actors. Another common thing I saw was towards the acting, and that, of course, Lily Rose, because she's a woman and she's the lead, so of course she was the most attacked. But I saw a lot of comments about, just in general, that the acting was really bad, painful to watch. Everyone spoke in like old English, and it felt like I was watching a play. And I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it does take place in the past, like Victorian era, so I don't know what to tell you.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I'm loving how this is looking. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the movie was reviewed really weird. If you go on Google, it has like a 3 out of 5, which I'm just like, ugh, I don't know, eye roll, whatever. I think it at least deserves a 3.5. I would say 4. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool, and yeah, I thought Robert did a great job, and I like his films. I think they're great. I think there was one review that I was like, okay, that the negative was like, I wanted to see more about Count Orlok. I wanted to know more about Count Orlok and Ellen's past, like their relationship. The movie doesn't give us any context of like, besides her, you know, she tells people that she, as a little child, that she was like haunted and cursed by him since forever. So she does talk about it, and we do know about it in the film, but I guess without seeing things, maybe they wanted to see like something from the past or something to just give it more emphasis on their relationship and the importance, the why they're so like drawn to one another. And I'm like, okay, valid, if that's what they meant. I think there was just a lot of immature people, a lot of kids, a lot of like young adults or whatever. I don't know, or like society has gotten weird because like, so Baby Girl came out. Now that has a lot of those scenes in it. That movie is full of it. It is basically an adult film. And I saw several people on social that said they went to like warning people, do not go see this movie in the theater, because apparently full-grown adults, and they were saying this about adults because like it's definitely R-rated, so you can't get like young kids in there. They were saying that full-grown adults were giggling and like snickering and like, oh my God, you know, like basically awkwardly giggling and laughing during every single intimate scene. And they were like, if you are not mature enough to handle an intimate scene or nudity or like, you know, like, why are you here? I'm not saying that I would want to sit in a room with my family and watch an intimate movie like that. You know, like, people that can do that, I'm like, good on ya. But like, so no, I wouldn't want to do that. But in a theater full of strangers, I don't know. I don't find that awkward. I'm never going to see these people again. Sex is a real thing. We're all adults here. Like it's just so very weird that is like making you uncomfortable in public. And so yeah, just watch it at home. Like I don't understand why you would go to the theater. I think our social climate has like drastically changed. People in public are only thinking about themselves. There's no thought into like, how are my actions affecting other people? Which makes me kind of like not want to go to the movies anymore, which is sad, because I love the movies. But I don't know. I love doing black lines like this instead of like sketchy. Like I do love how like pencil lines look on drawings, But I just think I'm a flat black girly. I don't know. That's just what I like to do, I think. Definitely gonna need to scale down on the details here because there are way too many. And when you zoom out, there's too much going on with this tomb especially. So we're gonna have to get rid of some details. Speaking of that freaking popcorn bucket. Oh my word, the Nosferatu popcorn bucket, so cool. So friggin' cool. I wanted it, I really did, but I didn't let myself. I was like, what are you doing with it? I don't know. Like, do you have a plan? Are you buying it just because everyone else is? Which is okay to do here and there. It's okay to do. But there are just so many things that come out, especially during Halloween. And I have to think about the long term of like, okay, am I gonna care about a Nosferatu popcorn bucket like 3 years from now, 5 years from now? I mean, maybe I would have. I only have so much room in my office. I don't, which that really has taken a back seat. I have flushed out more, fleshed. It's fleshed out, right? Not flushed. Yes, it's fleshed. I have fleshed out more of my office, but my son's room really took the priority. Had to, because he's gonna be here. So I was like, I can wait. I can finish doing my office, after he's here. And then also too, it's like, it's stuff that I need to like take the time to figure out. Like, I want to do some shelves like in the walls and stuff, things that aren't just a quick afternoon of decorating. It's gonna like take some research and talking with my husband and stuff. Like, so some of those things will have to be later, because I think I want to do like a bookshelf. Regardless, I am loving how it's looking. I don't know. I feel like Nosferatu would be a great movie to draw inspiration from. Maybe Count Orlok's castle. But he has some cool decor in there.
Eventually.
So I think for colors, I'm going to stay true to the movie and do like all blue. Just beautiful blues and purples and grays and just, yeah, keep it very cold and depressing because that's what the movie looks like, baby. So my last thoughts on Nosferatu, I guess, is like my interpretation of their relationship, because that was also a very interesting discussion online, is just relationships, abusive relationships and unhealthy relationships, and just Ellen and Count Orlok's relationship in general, and some people romanticizing the relationship and like making it into a love triangle, which I guess I understand a little bit, because there was like a little bit of like undertones when Count Orlok attacked Thomas. There was definitely some, but I don't think that, I just took that as he's a vampire and he's drinking his blood. I don't, unless I missed something, I didn't interpret that as like, oh, he loves, he's into Ellen and Thomas. I just think that the blood is what he was interested in. But anyway, I understand, because I was a teenager not that long ago, if you can believe it, and I remember not realizing how toxic Bella and Edward's relationship in Twilight was. And I was a person that read the books, loved the books, did not see a problem with it. But that's probably because at the time, I myself was in a horrifically abusive relationship. I was in a very toxic, mentally abusive relationship. And so I think I thought that was normal. I think I thought the obsession, you have to be obsessed with one another. You can't be apart ever. Your thoughts must only be consumed with me. Like that kind of, when Ellen is like being possessed and she's convulsing because Orlok is calling to her. And Bella, the part when she's in her chair for the seasons are passing by and she's sitting there doing nothing for like several months, and she disconnects from her friends and she has those night terrors. It's like, oh my God, girl, this is so unhealthy. This is not good for you. That is how I interpreted it. I think that, I don't know, I thought that was pretty clear that Ellen was not happy with this relationship. Like that, I thought that that's what Robert was saying, is that Count Orlok he was tormenting her whole life, and it skewed her perception of romance and love and being desired. And so she has this toxic view of love. And that's why she says this to Thomas. She expresses to him how it wasn't until him and when they got married that, she was normal again, that she was happy again. And then of course Count Orlok doesn't like that, and he comes back, and but that's how I interpreted it. Everyone, of course, is interpreting, can interpret things differently, but I did not see. I saw people that were like, oh, she doesn't know, she loves them both, and she's like, oh, she's torn between two lovers. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I don't think she's torn between two. I think she sacrifices herself at the end to kill him. I guess maybe some people look at that as like she loves him, but she knows he's bad. Which, I mean, I guess it's love and hate. Those lines are so easily blurred. So she probably does have some love for him in regards to like this passion, this hatred for him, you know? So I don't know, but I definitely believed that she loved Thomas. He was the love of her life, and he changed her view on love, and she sacrificed herself for him so that the town could be rid of him. This curse that is Count Orlok. But let me know what you think in the comments. I will not be judgmental. Everyone interprets things differently, and I've seen some people be like, you need to go to therapy, you need help if you think that was if that was like a romantic relationship to you, you need to go to and I'm like, yes, like I kind of agree, but at the same time I'm like, well, that's a little dramatic. I don't know. I do think that that's an important topic for sure. I think that sometimes you can look at a piece of media and romanticize it and not necessarily accept it in your real life. Because I've done that. Like, I've watched a movie and been like, oh, like, that's so cute. Like, I don't know. Like, let's say it's like a mob wife and husband, and I kind of love their relationship, but I know I would never tolerate that in real life. I guess that's what I'm trying to say is I think sometimes we accept things in media and we're just like, yeah, it's a movie or it's a book. But knowing that you would never like allow that in real life. Sometimes we just like the fantasy of it, you know? Like, that's why there are so many of those books that women read. Like, you know what books I'm talking about. That's why there's so many of them, because it's fantasy. It's fun. It's not serious. It doesn't mean that you're mentally ill. But, you know, definitely tread lightly. You don't want to read too many of those things. But overall, I really liked this movie. I thought it was so cool. I hope more and more movies like this come out. I just, more gothic romance, more gothic horror, please. I just visually, yeah, you know, okay, whatever. To the people that are like, it was only visually stunning. The plot sucked, like, whatever. Give me the visuals. Give me them. As an artist, I want the visual. I'm not saying I don't care about plot and writing. Like, of course I do. And Nosferatu had good writing and acting, so shut up. But still, visually stunning pieces of art, it's very important. And I can't wait to watch this film again and just be immersed in those visuals. And they were so stunning that I had to draw. Today because it just instantly inspired me. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I love it. I love how this turned out. I love the texture. I put a little texture over it and I love it. I think I'm done. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that this was enjoyable, just listening to me blab for a little bit. And my finished art is on Patreon. Feel free to join if you so wish. Would love to have you there. And I hope that you're getting through this winter and just this time of year. I hope that you're hanging in there, and I will have all the updates for you with Child, and I'm gonna definitely try to get some sort of a posting schedule in the works. And maybe you'll see more shorts from me, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just gonna be rolling with the punches. We're gonna have to do this more. I'm gonna need to do more drawing, and hopefully I can do a live, or, drawing. Just go live in general. I really need to do that. I love you all so much, my cute and creepy friends, and I will see you in my next video. Oh, it's so cold. I hope Count Orlok doesn't invite me into his castle. That came off really weird. That sounded weird. Sorry. 3, 2, 1. Ugh.